China for NBC Europe exclusive coverage of the 1997 China Open. Men's final, Zoran Primorac facing Taek Soo. Gino Red, along with Anders Thunstrom, former national team player and coach for Team Sweden. Your thoughts on this men's final matchup?
I think there could be a quite interesting battle because once again we have one European against one Asian. Taek Soo, Korea, is a very good fighter. He plays with the forehand topspin, and he will certainly make some unbelievable forehand topspin during the match. That I'm sure of. Zoran Primorac is more like a steady player. He is very all-round skilled, and you will see that Zoran can play and use both his backhand and forehand equally good. So it's a very interesting matchup, and I think, and I hope it will be a tight game.
We've seen Zoran before on NBC Europe's coverage of the Pro Circuit Tour, and what we noticed from Zoran is he's very, very active. His feet are constantly moving.
He is, and he wants to pump him up constantly, and I think that's part of Zoran's mental game against opponents as well, that he wants to show that he's in the game and that he's there to win and to grab parts for himself. So, but you will also notice, I think, that Taek Soo is also not the silent type. He will do his utmost here to try to find the holes in Primorac's defense.
In terms of international rankings, Zoran comes in at number 5 on the pro circuit. Taek Soo not even in the top 30.
Yeah, and I think that a bit depends on that Taek Soo hasn't played that much of tournaments before. Taek Soo is a very skilled player and a very, very knowledgeable player, and has a bunch of good results. So he's a very good player. What's interesting to notice, though, is that there is one Korean and one Croatian playing the Open finals in China, which is a bit of a setback, perhaps, for the Chinese.
Where in stark contrast, in the women's final, it was China against China, which, incidentally, if you just joined us late, Li Zhu of China won in straight sets over Wen Nan. And here in the men's final, Zoran Primorac now takes a 5-4 lead early in game number 1 of the championship. Bit unlucky there for Primorac.
Great rally, and that's a typical game for Taek Soo. You can see here as a pen holder, he will use almost to try to play forehand topspin all over the table. So you will see Taek Soo running around on the table, while Zoran Primorac will try to really use the corners as much as possible to have him running. But you will notice Zoran will stay in his backhand side to play backhand.
But look at Zoran moving it all over the place. Takes a 6-5 lead. He's really moving Taek Soo all over the court.
Look in the slow motion how good that reflection or that reaction is from Zoran.
Oh, Taek Soo disappointed about that one. Let that one get away.
A bit of an unforced error there. The service was actually long, so he had a chance to attack immediately.
Taek Soo was trying to change up the pace a little bit. It didn't work out for him. He now trails 8-5.
For Taek Soo, it's crucial that he gets the first forehand topspin or the first attack. So he would try to keep his receives short as possible. And that sometimes can be that the receive is too short. And there you could see Zoran's tremendous backhand.
It's just that reaction, that quick snap.
And there you can see also the advantage by having the handshake style, because you're equal flexible on both backhand and forehand side. So Zoran is using that very, very good, and his backhand side is one of the best in the world.
Terrific smash. And now he just seems to be getting more and more aggressive with the play.
Zoran has started this match very, very good.
You get the sense that as things are working for Zoran, he starts to take more risks. And when the risks work out for him, he gets that much more aggressive.
Yeah, of course. And risks, which is rewarded, gains confidence as well. So I think that's natural that he can play more relaxed and continue to take chances and go for it.
Kim's on serve now, trailing by 4. his confidence right now badly needs a good run on his own serve. Good looking rally. Kim keeps it alive. And Zoran finally puts it away.
Oh, that's beautiful. You can see the last forehand topspin from Zoran is real wide, and it's a real angle he finds there with his forehand topspin. No chance for Kim.
But to his credit, Kim did make a terrific effort there to keep that rally alive where he did.
Yeah, and his footwork is tremendous. One of the best in the world. You can see how quick he's on his feet.
And you can hear the crowds enjoying it because they're just buzzing. This is just terrific table tennis.
It has very high quality, and it's like you're saying, Zoran's start here is tremendous.
Kim's got to take advantage of his service opportunity, or Zoran's going to just run away with this. Zoran into the net. Kim pulls to within 5. 12-7.
Normally, Kim Taek Soo's forehand service is quite tricky. He uses a lot of different spins and normally get advantage of that.
What a great shot. What a great shot. Kim has to just look and admire a passing shot like that.
At the moment, it's Zoran for all the pennies. And he looks very confident, relaxed.
Gina right along with Anders Lundstrom. Exclusive coverage of the 1997 China Open on NBC Europe. And for those of you who just can't get enough table tennis information, you can get all the stats, all the rankings, all the results on our website at www.ittf.com. You want up-to-date table tennis information and stats? That's our website. Kim seems to have just lost concentration now, Anders.
Yeah, he's in trouble, and like you're saying, I think he's struggling, and I think he's working very hard in his mind to find a recipe to really get out of this trouble. I think Zoran is dominating this game so far.
We've got a very knowledgeable table tennis crowd here at Zhuhai in China, and the crowd, you can just hear the hum with every reaction to every point, and I think that's getting to Kim Taek Soo because the crowd realizes he's in big trouble in this match. And now, having said that, Zoran is starting to make some unforced errors.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. They know exactly what it was about, and they know table tennis very well in China.
With that, Kim Taek Soo is within 5 points, trailing 15-10, and he's got serve. There goes Primorac. As soon as he starts to slip a little, he jumps right back at you.
Yeah, and if you notice very carefully there, the receive was building up the point. Very good and very short receive on Kim Taek Soo's forehand side. And then after that, Zoran could attack himself. Very good receive from Zoran.
Good idea there by Kim, trying to go up the line. It just didn't work out for him. He now trails 17-10.
And there Kim Taek Soo proved that he can play backhand as well, despite his pen holder grip. And that is a difficult and tricky shot for a pen holder, to have a real powerful backhand.
And back comes Primorac. Just jammed Kim, and there was really nowhere Kim could go. Two points from the first set. 20-11, Primorac.
Went quickly here, and Zoran made 4-1 in Kim Taek Soo's service, which is really good, and it looks like he's on his way to clinch the first set.
Set point. And there's set number 1. Zoran Primorac takes set number 1 of the 1997 China Open. And really, he deserved that victory because he was definitely the better of the two in the opening set.
Yeah, and he was up to a flying start as well. He really set the pace immediately and put pressure on Kim Taek Soo.
And Kim Taek Soo has a huge hurdle to overcome. While Primorac receives some instruction, we're going to take a break. More on NBC Europe right after this.
El Hamburg, it's NBC.
China. NBC Europe's exclusive coverage of the 1997 China Open. Zoran Primorac, number 5 in the world, taking set number 1 over Taek Soo of Korea, 21-11.
It's going to be interesting to see here now if Taek Soo changed something in his game, trying to get some more own attacks. I think that's the only chance for Kim to come into this match, that he can make some points with his forehand topspin like he did there. That's his game, and he has to play that way.
We'll see if he can maintain that aggressiveness. Now, in the first set, what happened, Anders, every time Taek Soo got aggressive, Zoran would come back equally aggressive. And when he wins the point, then Taek gets in a little bit of trouble just like that.
Yeah, and what was really, really impressive in the first set was Zoran's defense game by blocking. He had some terrific reactions on Taek Soo's forehand topspins. And I think that took a bit of edge of Taek Soo.
Into the net.
Once again, it looks like Zoran has full control over where the ball is coming, and he's more or less deciding where Taek Soo should play the next ball.
And not only does he decide the location, he also decides the pace, because some of his blocks he takes a little off the return and slows it down, and then he quickly snaps it back to increase the pace as well. He seems to be controlling every aspect of this match right now. Chance to put it away. And Taek Soo keeping it alive. Give him credit for surviving as long as he did in that rally.
Great rally, and you can see here it's a schoolbook example how you play a penholder when he's far away. You keep him in the backhand corner until he makes the mistake, because penholder from far below, is no power in his backhand side. Very, very difficult.
A less experienced player than Zoran Primorac might have gotten a little overly aggressive and put that one into the wasteland, but instead he held on, took his time, won the point, and has now won another. Now leads 4-1. On change of service, Taek Soo just taking a moment to kind of relax, slow the pace down. He knows that right now Zoran Primorac is basically just steamrolling.
Yeah, if you look at the slow motion here once again, it's a good chance for Taek Soo to make the point there with his forehand topspin, and he's doing, like you're saying, sometimes an unforced error. And at this stage of the match, he can't afford that. He has to make the point with his forehand topspin.
Long. 5-1. For those of you who've been following the tour here on NBC Europe, this is our 8th of 14 stops on this year's tour. Of course, all building down to the Pro Tour Grand Finals in Hong Kong with $220,000 US on the line. The top 16 men and women at the end of the tour will be invited to Hong Kong to play for all the cash.
Oh, beautiful. Once again, he's doing more or less like he wants. It's a beautiful backhand shot down the line, and Taek Soo is almost 2 meters from the ball. He must be confused now.
Long. Primorac leads 8-1.
And if you look very carefully there, Gino, there was a lot of spin on that backhand topspin, which makes the block difficult for Taek Soo, and therefore it's long. It's a lot of spin on that ball. Now the coach gets a warning.
Coach being a little too vocal, getting the card.
And the rule says next time he got that, it's a red card and it's out. The rule says he cannot give advice during the match.
Which I'm sure at this point he is awfully tempted to be as vocal as possible. 9-1, Zoran Primorac leading Taek Soo. Primorac won the first set, 21-11. We're in the best of 5 men's final here at the 1997 China Open. $12,000 US to the winner.
Finally, he got an easy point there, but Zoran has not given away that many of points so far in the game or in the match.
Oh, you see in the crowd enjoying the good aggressive play by Kim Taek Soo. Again, if you're going to make a mistake, you got to err on the aggressive side.
But look, is that counter-attack from Primorac. It's very, very nice. And like you're saying, the crowd knows exactly how difficult that shot is.
At this point, Kim Taek can't buy a break.
Oh, these points he has to make. And I'm just wondering what he should try to do now, because it looks like Zoran is very confident and he knows exactly where the ball is coming. So I think Kim Taek Soo has to try something differently.
Long, 11-4. Primorac leading Kim.
I haven't seen that many backhand service from Zoran, which normally he's using very often, but it looks like he's well paid for his forehand service, so he's continued doing that. And like we discussed in the match before, if you get the game you would like, it's a very good start to do that service. So I think he will change once Kim is coming into the rhythm and knows how to treat his forehand service.
Kim wins the first point on Primorac's service, and really he has to start sweeping Primorac's service to get back
Here
into
it comes,
this
the
match.
backhand service.
Long. You predicted it. He must have heard you.
Well, that's one of his trademarks. His backhand service is one of the better ones in the world.
13-5. Primorac.
That's Kim Taek Soo, and that's how he has to play. And that forehand topspin is very, very hard. It's unbelievable hard, and it's hitting it so clear, so you can almost hear the sound when it's hitting the ball.
Oh, what a good break. You got to be good to be lucky, and sometimes luck is enough.
Long rally, and like you're saying, Zoran lucky in the end with the ball on the net and dropping on the right side. Kim Taek Soo trying to get it, but no
And
chance.
nearly got there.
Nearly got there, yeah. Looked like Boris Becker at Wimbledon.
Diving all over. Kim on serve. Trailing 14-6. 14-7.
Once again, a good rally. High quality table tennis. Zoran going for the shot down the line, but misses it. The idea is 100% correct.
But there's Zoran just pushing him back again and again.
Yeah, and I'm amazed how he can see all the shots Kim is doing. And his counter-attack is brilliant there.
Oh, that's just great reaction. Good point, Kim Taek Soo. Trails 15-8.
And he needed that, and he deserved that back. Zoran had been lucky now for a while.
No one's ever going to accuse Kim Taek Soo of lack of effort. He is just all over the place, taking every advantage of that Zoran Primorac gives him. Every time Primorac opens the door, Kim Taek Soo is there to pounce on it.
And Kim is the kind of player who will never give up, and he will never show that he is in big trouble. So I think it's like you're saying, if Zoran suddenly drops his quality of his game, I think Kim is ready there to take it.
And you know what? I think your comparison to Boris Becker is an accurate one, because Kim Taek Soo is that kind of player that is everywhere on every shot and will drive you nuts because he doesn't let anything get by him easily.
No, that's correct. He's a fighter.
Couldn't quite get there.
And that's a brilliant shot. It looks so easy, but it's done with very finesse. So he's almost not reaching the ball again. Very, very nice tactically played by Zoran. He's using the angles very, very cleverly.
$18-10 in the second set. Primorac took the first set, 21-11. Now threatening to go up 2-love.
Considering this being a final, this is almost shocking figures. I mean, Zoran is 21, 11, 19, 10 up. It's very, very big figures to be in the final so far.
Into the net. Set point. The only good news, if there's any kind of glimmer of hope whatsoever, is the fact that this game is almost over and Kim Taek Soo has service, but he's trailing 20-10. He has got a huge hurdle to overcome.
Yeah, and he has to be prepared for the next set. I think he has to try to start that from scratch and try to get into that game with a good start, perhaps, and hopefully get some points in advantage for Zoran. Now it's very, very difficult.
Yes, Kim Taek Soo is in a huge hole. He trails 2-0 in this, the 1997 China Open. More of the men's final on NBC Europe in a moment. Of Korea. Gina Redd along with Anders Thunstrom, and Anders, really, Primorac has been the class of this men's final.
He has, and he performed superbly so far. Oh, he starts the third set in the same fashion with almost an ace.
You would think that at this point, with a 2-0 lead, he might sit back a little, but that's just not in Primorac's nature.
No, and I think that's coming to reach the final. I think everybody's going for it, and especially Zoran. He's hungry.
If you just joined us late, the ladies' final, earlier an all-China final, Li Zhu defeating Wang Nan in straight sets, earning $8,000 U.S. Here in the men's final, $12,000 U.S. Up for grabs to the men's winner at this point. It has been all Zoran Primorac.
The third set starts like the two others. It's Zoran who's dominating, who's setting the pace, and decides what's inside his game. Oh, he's playing brilliant.
He's 4-love on his serve. And Kim Taek Soo is just being completely outclassed thus far.
He almost got that one as well. It was a beauty if it hit the table, but just wide. Now it will be crucial for Kim Taek Soo to really get into this match. He needs 4-1 in his own service, perhaps 5-0, so he's top of Zoran in the scoring in this set. He has...
And he did not start well.
He can't afford that if he wants to get into this match.
Long. 6-1. And Primorac is just steamrolling now.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised. I thought before this game that this is a match will go in 4 sets or perhaps 5 sets. They're two very competitive players, and both of them very skillful, but at this stage it's only one-sided. It's Primorac.
Seven, 7-3. And only 2 points on his serve. Kim Taek Soo needed a lot better performance than that.
He does. The consolation perhaps was the last point was a good one for Kim Taek Soo, because that was a point made by himself with his forehand topspin. Hopefully now, if he can have some good receives and try to get that first attack himself, maybe he can come back in the game.
just got the end of the table on this. And at times you need a bit of a break, and you got one there. Both just patiently waiting each other out. Finally, Primorac goes for it, but Taek Soo is there for the point.
An interesting rally because it's backhand against backhand. That's normally the shakehander will take advantage of that. But then Primorac decides, I will play him in the forehand. And immediately Taek Soo was there with the counter-attack.
It was interesting to hear the crowd's reaction in that once the rally got a little mundane, they started asking for more. And when Primorac heard that, he gave them a little more.
Still getting along with the easy points as well, Zoran. Now I think the crowd shouts for Taek Soo. They want to fight here. And it looks like Kim cannot come up with that. He has no replies to Zoran's strong performance here.
It's certainly not out of lack of effort, because he is not sitting back on his heels. He's got the full support of the crowd, though. There's no doubt about that. But Primorac is the one who's entertaining this crowd right now.
I think Zoran plays fantastic table tennis at the moment. He's very solid in his service, and he has attacks on both sides with backhand and forehand. No matter what Taek Soo plays the ball, Zoran is there to play solid performance. So it's difficult for Taek Soo to find this hole in Primorac's defense.
Zoran Primorac of Croatia leading Taek Soo of Korea 2-0 and 10-5 here in third set. 11-5. Again, Anders, here's a good example of Zoran using all of the table to his advantage.
That's right, and he forces Taek Soo to open him up.
Oh, what a good smash.
That's what we call a flip or a flick, when he uses all the power above the table, which is a difficult shot. But that was done with very, very good performance.
It's a high-risk shot, but when it works, it sure looks pretty.
It's a high-risk shot, and if you can do it, it's very effective. It's a difficult shot to make.
6-12. Taek Soo trying to move Primorac around a little bit, and it worked for him very, very nicely.
It did, and I liked his first approach with the service as well, because he's played a long service for the first time maybe in the match, and I think he has to do something like that. He has to switch the game or try to change the game in a way. I think Zoran is too comfortable when he's receiving. He knows the spin and he knows the position of the service. I think Taek Soo has to use all the table in his service. Use different kind of strategies.
Oh, and that's a mistake he would like back. We haven't seen a lot of unforced errors in this match.
No, we haven't. And the errors Taek Soo is forced to do is basically because Primorac is playing so strong. I don't think it's an unforced errors. He's more or less pushed to making the mistakes by Zoran. Great comeback from Taek Soo here. Once again, you can see Zoran's tactic is to play him in the backhand side, but suddenly Taek Soo is able to switch from his backhand to his forehand topspin, and that makes it possible for him to make that counter-attack.
And this crowd now firmly behind Taek Soo.
Yeah, they have to, and they if they want to fight, they have to cheer him up.
14-8. Zoran Primorac.
There's no mistakes in Zoran's attacking game either, so it's I can't see Taek Soo switching this match.
We've seen some great table tennis on this year's pro circuit, This is stop number 8 of 14 stops. Once again, at the end of the year, the top 16 players, the rankings on the pro circuit on both the men's and women's sides, get a special invitation to the Pro Tour Grand Finals in Hong Kong with $220,000 US on the line. And at this point, Primorac is looking pretty good for an invitation to the party.
He does, and he certainly is coming well along here if he wins this title, and that means a lot for him and in the standings.
Look at Primorac just all over the place. Taek Soo trying to keep his opponent mobile, but look at Primorac. He's just hunting everything down.
Can only enjoy this. It's a beauty.
It's a good exhibition of table tennis by Primorac. The only downside for Taek Soo is he's the victim of it.
Yeah, today it looks like he has no answers whatsoever to Zoran's performance.
$9.17.
One of the few mistakes by Zoran in receiving. Net immediately.
Good table tennis.
It's a game actually which Taek Soo likes a lot. Topspin against topspin. He's very, very good at that, and I think that is scientifically for the game is that Primorac is winning the point. We'll hear it again.
And now it looks like Taek Soo is just tiring out. He trails 19-10 and trails 2 sets to love. Zoran Primorac just 2 points away from the 1997 China Open here at Zhuhai, China. Primorac not letting up. He's enjoying every moment of this final. Match point, Zoran Primorac. Taek Soo has battled long and hard, but I think he realizes he has been well overmatched on this day.
And what a performance by Primorac. Unbelievable.
Match point, championship point, Zoran Primorac. Taking it into the stands. Primorac just keeping the point alive, but there it is. It's over. Zoran Primorac, the 1997 China Open champion.
Yeah, and Taek Soo is playing the last 2-3 points like an exhibition, and he's giving the crowd something to share about anyway. And you can see how much spin it is in the ball. That makes it possible to do this.
But interesting, though, good sportsmanship there by Primorac. Primorac could have just put this easily away, but he just wanted to keep things active, let the crowd enjoy just one last point as he takes the 1997 championship. And with that championship, Primorac now moves up in the overall standings from number 5 to number 3 in the men's singles action. A big jump by Zoran Primorac. Speaking of big jumps, in the women's singles standings, Li Zhu, with her victory at the 1997 China Open, goes from number 13 to number 5. Wang Nan, with her final appearance, goes from number 9 to number 4. And that wraps it up for the 1997 China Open. Next up for us here on NBC Europe is the Polish Open from Gdansk, Poland. We'll see you then. Until next time, for Anders Thunstrom and the entire NBC Europe crew, I'm Gino Reda saying so long and thanks for joining us.